Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Secrets and Analysis where me and Michael discuss an episode of Seniors that just came out, and this week was Onion Gang. This will probably be the last one we're doing for a while because it looks like the show might be going on hiatus, which is, not a good thing, but we'll still have Seniors content coming out on a regular basis for a while.
Yeah, we got a nice little few months of constant Steven Universe episodes, so it's okay with a little break. And apparently there's supposed to be another Steven bomb, or I think potentially two before the end of the year. So it shouldn't be too long of a hiatus, I don't think.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So this was another one of those episodes that we have kind of been getting a lot lately. Not too much lore, or this one pretty much nothing, just more character development here. And it looks like there's more to Onion than we initially thought, which I guess is a good thing because I know you really like Onion, but he was always really iffy for me. But this episode showed that there's kind of a human side to him. Not just like he's not just weird little alien thing that might be Yellow Diamond or something. I was kidding. But yeah, there's definitely more to him, and he's a kid, as we can see when he has we learn that he has a whole group of friends, and unlike you predicted, or people predicted, they were not they were not gem kind or anything like that, but just general kids, although they were really kind of weird.
Oh yeah, I'm very curious as to the story of those kids, why none of them talk, and why they all happen to come to Beach City all at the same time, and all met Onion. I don't understand how that series of events took place. I hope we kind of learn that, because that's super confusing. And also, they're all named after food, all of them. So how do they all have this in common?
Yeah, one is I'll list them all. We have garbanzo, pinto, squash, and soup. And people are saying that soup looks like Frisk, if you know Undertale, another reference to that.
Yeah, I think it was an obvious reference.
Although, I mean, these episodes take a while to make, so who knows?
Well, each episode usually takes about a year.
Okay.
And funny enough, it is actually the year anniversary for Undertale.
Yeah.
So it was probably intentional, I feel like.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if it was.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know what to feel about these children. Like you said, they don't talk, and one of them in Garbanzo's basically like a Pokemon. All you can say is his name. But I mean, a lot of characters lately we haven't heard talk, which is like it's become a common thing now. And Steven has to do most of the talking, or we have to interpret what they're saying. Like in the last episode, we had Mystery Girl, who we didn't hear her voice either. So that's like a really common thing now.
Weird timing.
Yeah. So later in the episode, we see that these kids are real troublemakers, and they get in a trench coat to try and fool people. It's funny because Steven gets in the trench coat, but he actually has been an adult before, so he actually at one point, or he wouldn't need to wear a trench coat to be tall.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna do a shape-shifting, stretchy thing.
That would have been cool.
Didn't end up happening. We actually finally got to see official confirmation of Suitcase Sam, which was something that was kind of relevant to the video I did with the Onion Gang predictions. But apparently it doesn't look like Onion has any sort of special connection to Suitcase Sam. He just happened to be there one day.
Yeah, they just prank him like everybody else.
Yeah, and we still haven't heard him talk either.
I thought he made like a noise.
Yeah, he went like or something like that.
So he
didn't actually discuss anything.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they've done this to a lot of people, and it's funny because one of the pictures is Garnet, and she knew exactly what was going to happen, probably future vision or something, but she was just smiling. She totally played with it. So then later there is a bug race, and Steven's bug wins, but then the kids for some reason want him to smash the winner bug, which is kind of weird. But of course, as we know, Steven would never ever do that.
Yeah, it was really interesting character development, actually, because Onion's always like the really weird one doing all these disturbing, crazy things, usually hood rat type stuff. And this time it was the other kids kind of egging Steven on, when normally it would be Onion. But I think Onion has grown so much as a character, like in terms of his relationship with Steven, that he wasn't really egging him on. He was just kind of looking like, oh, he's not going to want to do this, and then obviously we see he gives him the bug back. So it's a clear sign that Onion is, growing to like Steven a lot and kind of learning his personality, I guess.
Yeah, and I think Onion actually talks to Steven kind of in his own
Hmm.
way, the murmurs. So that's like development because we haven't really seen him do that directly, I don't think, or too much at all to other characters besides his parents,
Hmm.
so that's a really big step for Onion.
Yeah.
So then, of course, Steven can't do that and he leaves them. And then, he tries to get other kids his age or around his age to play with him. But of course, everybody is busy. And it shows that Steven he can be lonely and he's not always successful at being the kid that he wants to be at times, because he has so many responsibilities now that he doesn't always get time to be a kid. And when he does, it seems like he doesn't get to do it his way exactly.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I never really thought about how he doesn't have too many friends his age. Like Connie is the one exception, but she lives far away. And then you have Petey, but he's always working. And then the cool kids are either A, working, and B, they're way older than him, so they're not always going to invite him places. So, and Beach City's a small town, so you never really thought about like, oh yeah, Steven doesn't have a lot of friends that are in his age group.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And what was interesting, another piece of information, is that Connie says that she was preparing for school, I think school shopping or something, but it seems like episodes are playing out of order, or it's just she was in summer school or something, because in Buddy's book, she was studying for school, and then in Mindful Education, we learned that she beat up a kid at school, so either she was in summer school or, the episodes are...
We know in Buddy's book, she said she wanted to get a head start for 7th grade. So that implies that she was just studying because she's a nerd and she just wants to study beforehand. So that she probably wasn't in school then. But yeah, you're right. Mindful education, that's an interesting point. Maybe she just had more back to school shopping, or like you said, maybe the episodes are out of order because there was a schedule change. For those who don't know, last one out of Beach City and Tiger Philanthropist were supposed to be a double feature, I guess. They're supposed to air back to back. Obviously, we haven't even seen Tiger Philanthropist yet, and it got replaced with Onion Gang. So I think there was probably scheduling issues of some sort. So that may have been the reason.
Yeah, that is really interesting how that happens. But moving on, a little tidbit is that we see a picture of Pearl on the fridge, in the temple, the house, which I believe we also got to see in Monster Reunion. So it's nice that they always throw back to those little moments that we get to see.
Continuity.
And then later, Onion comes back to get Steven, and he, like you said, he brings the bug back. And once Onion is able to drag Steven back out Steven comes back out to the forest where the kids are, we learn that they have to leave, and we probably won't see them for a while.
Yeah, these kids are so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, they're staying in the woods. Like, were they just waiting there for Onion that day, or they just stay there? Like, where are their where are their parents? Why do none of them talk except for Gambanza, who just says his name? I don't understand. Are these their birth names? Like, what is this?
I guess, yeah, the parents like food. I guess food names are the trend now.
Maybe.
But learning that all his friends his age have to leave, I actually kind of felt bad for Onion. Like I said, it made him seem like a human being more than we have ever seen him before.
Yeah.
So that kind of changed my opinion on Onion. I don't know how I felt about his friends. Like, they kind of replaced what my feelings about Onion, because they're really weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see that, like you said, more human side of Onion. We never got a real touching emotional moment with Onion before, and seeing him cry, and then he like hugs Steven. He's like, oh, but I'm like, the feelings. So it was a really sweet episode. It was not the episode I was expecting. I was expecting it to be super weird and disturbing like usual, but it was actually really cool to see this side of Onion that we'd never seen, and to see his relationship with Steven grow from what it began as.
Yeah, as theorists, we always think the worst of what could happen, like what possibilities contain, like going with the plot of the show could it be? But as Steven Universe is a show where that doesn't always happen. So this is one of those episodes, definitely.
Yep.
So that was pretty much it for the actual episode. Then we get an ending theme, which I'm not 100% sure if it's a new one, but it was really creepy. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, we've had this ending theme since I think like Earthlings or Beta or something around that time. It's really eerie, and it leaves me thinking that something is about to go down very soon. Despite like the more lighthearted episodes we've been getting, which is probably to kind of get us prepared emotionally for what's about to go down.
Man. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all we have to say for this episode. Not much to talk. There wasn't too much to talk about, but there was, of course, always something that we got from this episode. And overall, it was a pretty nice one. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. And the next time an episode comes on, might be a while, but you never know. We'll be sure to talk about it. Thank you.
Later.